Thank you, Chairwoman. I have a couple of questions for a couple of you, so I'm going to start with Max, so if we could keep the answer a little quick so I can get to the second one with 3 minutes. You referenced in your testimony the consistent underfunding of library aid. Now, we talked about foundation aid being fully funded last year for the first time. I can't remember when libraries were fully funded. The exercise every year is the governor sweeps some money and cuts the funding. The legislature scratches and claws to get it either back, maybe even or a little bit of an increase at most, and we fall short, and here we are far behind. How much would it take, in your estimation, to really get libraries fully funded?
So if you're talking about the gap since the beginning of the program, it's around $207 million, which is about twice the amount of the largest annual award that library aid has ever received. So it's a considerable amount. And 154 million of that has come in the last 15 years or so.
Okay. Well, hopefully we can scratch and claw a little harder this year. So, but thank you. And to Jessica and Patrick, first, thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for your positivity in saying thank you for what we got last year, because frankly, I'm disgusted that we fell short. There's no excuse. We have kids, as you said, 320,000 New York kids are going hungry every day because we didn't come through, because we didn't come up with enough. And we're talking about maybe 90 million to close the gap. That's disgraceful. But I want to talk about, you mentioned the fact that people think that those that didn't get it this time are affluent. You know, they're the rich ones. It's okay. Even if that were true, which it's not, coming from a guy who was raised by a single mom that worked 3 jobs, we were on food stamps, we were on public assistance, I was a recipient of the free and reduced breakfast and lunch program. There's a stigma. Anybody who says there isn't is crazy. There is. Those left unfed right now are facing that stigma. Can you talk to that, please?
So absolutely right. We when we see schools that have implemented, and luckily we've been able to see schools implement universal school meals over the last 10 plus years in New York State, thanks to some federal provisions, and more largely so now in New York. And we see that low-income kids eat more often, and that participation increases, not quite at the same rate as those kids newly gaining access and those kids who were avoiding meals for accruing debt. That is a huge issue. Luckily, we've been able to tackle that with the investment. This year, we'll see less school meal debt, but it's still very prevalent for schools. And children are not eating knowing and trying to balance that budget for families. It's unfair.
Thank you very much for your work.
Thanks.